Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Coolest Chess podcast. This is your boy Trevoh. Please kindly like and subscribe to the channel, guys. Um, 20 more subscribers to reach 1,200 subscribers. So I think I can get maybe 5 or 10 today. That will be very helpful. So don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, people. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. So today, I'm going to focus more about tomorrow's game, London Derby, early kickoff. As you know, Chelsea versus Fulham. Yes, Chelsea versus Fulham. And before the end of the show, I'll be addressing some transfer news that you saw me on X that I don't like about. So I'm going to address them at the end of the week, at the end of the show, guys. So stay tuned. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Turn all then turn on the notification bell so that every time I launch a video or I set up a live stream, you'll be first to know. Don't forget, guys. So let's go straight into it. So I think we should focus on the presser first, on what our coach Enzo Maresca said about the game and everything. So yeah, let's start here, guys. So they ask him about Cole Palmer. Says Cole Palmer is out, Badiashile is out, Romeo Lavia is out, the rest are okay. For me personally, with Cole Palmer, right? I think it's a good thing. We are taking a question. We don't want to harm him. Hopefully, he can recover very well. But we do need him. Cole Palmer is my boy. Is our key player. We do need him. But hopefully, hopefully, after the international break, he'll be available. So, yeah, that's my take, guys. That's my take. So let me do this again to follow up on that. They ask him about Canacho. Say Enzo Maresca on Alejandro Canacho. I know that he's around here. I don't know exactly where I don't know where. He's a winger. I see him as a winger. He made it clear that he see Canacho as a winger. He see Canacho as a winger. For me personally, Canacho for us, I think is a fantastic signing. I think it's a fantastic signing because we're going to sell or loan Tyreek George. So that means him and Gittings are going to fight for a left winger. And I think competition is healthy at Chelsea, especially in a big club like Chelsea. I don't want to see anything that, a player wants to be a starter. You need to fight for a position to be a starter. Then you'll be a starter. So, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. It's so very important. And also, like in the stream, the YouTube algorithm will push more people to join and watch. And also in the comment section, let me know what you think about what Enzo Maresca said during his press conference before we talk about the game. So in terms of Garnacho, I think it's a fantastic signing. Yes, on Garnacho, I know from the beginning of the transfer window, I said, for me personally, we don't need Garnacho. However, if a player joins Chelsea, no matter regardless of how I think about him, I'll support him. I'll support the player. So in terms of Garnacho, I think it's a fantastic signing. And welcome to Chelsea. Hopefully, it doesn't fail his medical because only 2 days left for the transfer window to close. We still have a lot of players to ship out. So hopefully, Garnacho can successfully pass this medical. Then we'll see what will happen. We'll see what will happen. So let's see, guys. I say you can expect anything when the transfer window is open, in and out. Yeah, I think that is a good answer because they ask him about do you expect Chelsea signing new players? Do you expect Chelsea selling players? And he said yes, you can expect Chelsea to sell or loan players. So yeah, big up Chelsea. How are you?
Good, good, bro. How are you doing?
Yeah, much better, much better.
I saw you crashing out after the Xavi Simons deal, bro. How are you feeling now?
No, I'm still like upset, and then and my issue right now, people maybe don't understand my opinion about Xavi Simons deal. Maybe they think that maybe signing Xavi Simons is the reason why I'm mad. The reason why I'm mad actually, right? We agreed personal terms with Xavi Simons for almost 7 weeks, right? And at the end, we let him go to Spurs, bro. He can go to another club. I don't care. Spurs, Arsenal, that's a no for me because those teams are rivals, and it's not easy to lose players on your rivals. So this is my biggest issue. And another thing, we are linked to Famin Lopez. Is a fantastic player, but however, in terms of financial, doesn't make sense because Barcelona won around 80, 90 million. So we let the player go to Spurs for 60 million, and we're linked to another player that will worth more than 70 months. So this is my issue. So maybe people don't understand that. So overall, what are your thoughts, bro? I'm still upset, but again, it's life. We need to move on. But I, like I said from the beginning, I don't trust the sporting director. Even now, it's even worse now. They showed me that they can't do their job. They really can't do their job, bro. If we didn't agree a personal terms with Xavi Simons, I wouldn't be mad. If they didn't tell Fabrizio Romano, David Austin, Metlos, whatever, that we need to sell Nkunku to get Xavi Simons, I wouldn't be mad. But now Nkunku is going to AC Milan. We didn't sign Xavi Simons. We let him go to Spurs. So, what are your thoughts, bro?
Uh, Obviously, it's disappointing, bro. Um, this is a player that we have chased almost and the entire summer. This is a player that we agreed personal terms with 2 months ago, almost 2 months ago. And it was always reported by journalists that after the sale of Nkunku to Milan, this deal was going to be unlocked. Like Nkunku was the key to Xavi Simons signing for us. So when we all saw that here we go from Nkunku to AC Milan yesterday, we were overjoyed. We were very happy because we expected that the Xavi Simons here we go was also on its way. But unfortunately, the sporting directors, Enzo Maresca, and everyone who's leading the recruitment decided not to put a bid in for Xavi Simons. Reasons I don't know. They're unknown, but it kind of confuses you. Why would you chase a player for almost 2 months? Why would you waste 2 months of your time chasing a player, agreeing personal terms with them, only to fail to place a bid for them at the last minute? It's a proper lack of waste of time. It's confusing. But one thing about this saga that's interesting is that while journalists have continued to report that the Xavi Simons deal will happen, personal terms are agreed. It's a matter of selling Nkunku and all. Well, that has been repeatedly reported. There has been no report of Enzo Maresca actually talking to the player. So Enzo Maresca hasn't really talked to the player. No one has really reported that Enzo Maresca spoke to Xavi Simons about the project. Enzo Maresca spoke to Xavi Simons about the project and everything. But we've been linked to Fermin Lopez for only 2 days, and it was reported by Ben Jacobs that Enzo Maresca actually spoke to the player. So that's a really interesting one. I think Enzo Maresca wants Fermin Lopez more than he wants Xavi Simons, and it's probably the reason why we never placed an offer for Xavi Simons, because I read in March, actually in March, I read from a source in March that Xavi Simons, that the scouts had actually recommended the club to sign Xavi Simons this summer. So I think Xavi Simons was a recommendation from the scouts, while Fermin Lopez is actually Maresca's preferred target for that role in the pockets. So it's really an interesting one, but we've wasted too much time. If we wanted Xavi Simons, if we wanted Fermin Lopez, we should have tested the waters, a bit earlier. It's very late in the window, and it's little time to convince the player to join. There's not enough time, so I think we've wasted valuable time in the window to actually pursue other targets. Can we still sign a player in the attacking role? We can still sign a player. There's still good time. We've wasted so much time, but there's still enough time left to sign a player. Um, um, I don't know if Fermin Lopez actually wants to join. There are question marks regarding that. There's been no indication yet that he has agreed personal terms. I think that's the major stumbling block. Like I mentioned on the last stream, I think Barcelona would be willing to sell if the player agrees to the move. So we'll see what happens in the next few days, obviously on that one. But I wanted Xavi Simons. I would have wanted for the club to sign him. I think he's the better player. But if the manager really wants Fermin Lopez, I think, and if there's a chance to sign the player that the manager wants, I think it's best to go with what the manager
Um,
wants. So yeah.
I kind of disagree a bit. Sorry to cut in.
Co-
Sorry to cut in. So
I know
sorry to cut in.
my comment is actually
No, no,
done.
no. What you are saying? You know why? You know the. You know why I'm doubting? Because if the manager wanted Lopez or Fermin Lopez, why is it that you guys have been agreed a deal with Simons for over 2 months?
Exactly.
So I don't buy it. And then the Adam Wharton story too, I don't buy it because you and I know
It's a
Crystal
smoke
Palace.
screen.
So I know Chelsea. Usually, when we don't get a target, they made everyone fall in love with, or we tried. Everyone was like, "Okay, this player is coming. We are confident." Then they start bringing stories. Oh, the player's positioning. We don't know what happened. We don't know where to play him. Then they start linking other players to Chelsea so that they understand PR. Every club does it. Real Madrid, Barca, everyone does it. When Barcelona didn't get Nico Williams, they started changing the storyline. Nico Williams is not even that good of a player. This. The truth of the matter is, if we really wanted Lopez, if they wanted to listen to Maresca for the first time in their lives, they would have made an approach for Lopez in a long time. What I think happened
Exactly.
was that they saw that probably Lopez might be cheaper than Simons. I'm thinking that I may be wrong. This one, I'm not saying it because I don't know any Chelsea owner or director. But looking at how they operate, I think they thought Lopez might be cheaper, but Barcelona are desperate. And if you look at our owners, they like to capitalize on opportunistic signings. What I mean by that is signings that you don't have to pay so much money. Like Magui. I already know Magui is going to be sold for profits. So that if we buy the player and the player doesn't work out, we can easily resell the player. Because in La Liga, aside the stars, the top players, most of their wages are very, very low. So it's a low risk, high reward kind of situation. And if I'm also looking at another thing to end after this point, I'll end so that I know someone can reply. If we sign Xavi Simons, okay, and Cole Palmer is fit, let's say Cole Palmer doesn't get injured throughout the season and is performing in as a number 10, and whoever is playing as a right winger is performing. This season we can't rotate so many players. As Mariska said, we can't rotate a whole 11. We can probably rotate 2 or 3 players per game to keep the team sharp. That means Simons was basically going to be a bench player. And 60, 70 million for a bench player. So me, in the beginning, I was questioning the Simons idea. I thought they would keep Jackson and then Pedro will be the number 10 because that is what they told us, that Pedro is versatile. He can play on the left, he can play as a 10, he can play as a striker. So even if Palmer is injured, he can chip in. And then Jackson and Delap will compete. If you check the tweets, that's what they said at the beginning. Because at the beginning, I was against the signing of Joao Pedro because it looks like we didn't know how to use players who are, multi-positional. Like in Kunku, like Felix, it's like we don't know where to play them. So I didn't want any type of players like that because it looked like this manager didn't know how to utilize players, especially in attack, who, let's say, can play as a striker, can play as a winger, can play here, there. So I wanted a player who is stuck to one position. Then the manager proved me wrong. He used Joao Pedro rightly. You get me? So now, out of the sudden, you guys are moving on. So even if the manager wanted Lopez, don't you think he would have commented it, let's say, made news about it or made it known to them that, okay, you guys say Simons, but I want Fermin Lopez. So it's getting to a week or 2-3 days to the end of the window. You guys are like, oh, Maresca, okay, now we'll listen to you. We'll go in for Fermin Lopez now. No. I don't buy it. They're always going to use the manager too. Because I remember Joao Felix, they said Maresca spoke to Felix.
Exactly.
Even the player said Maresca spoke to him. So I don't buy that Maresca said, because these directors, they don't really listen to the manager. If they were listening to the manager, they would have gone to buy a centre back. So it is clear they don't listen to the manager. If they're listening to him, they would have gone in for the goalkeeper. So they do what they want. What they say or what they do, it supersedes the manager's decision. And they've gotten a manager that can cooperate to that. But the issue is, if Maresca is to win trophies, let's say a UCL or EPL or something, hopefully, he won't tolerate that much longer because
Okay.
now he has a better standing ground as a manager. Thank you very much.
Yeah, before I go to another, guys, please like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Also, comment in the comment section. Give us your knowledge about the situation. What are your thoughts about it? And also, before I give Anopa the mic, like you said, Charles, right? If we are really linked to Lopez, why the Lopez news come closer to knowing that we're going to bottle the Xavi Simons deal? Now we talk about Wharton. Like, for example, we do have midfielders. Wharton doesn't make sense. So overall, this is my issue. But let me give you another. What are your thoughts about the situation? Because I remember you and me, we talk about the sporting directors. I think was a few streams ago, we talk about the sporting director. So Anapa, what are your thoughts?
Big ups, everyone. Can you hear me?
100%.
Out.
All right. I just want to say that I had a feeling that this was not going to go through. It felt it was too long. We were a month saying personal terms agreement. To know he's going to choose Chelsea. And when I saw Spurs coming, I knew we were in trouble because I think think I don't know who said it, but someone said that we do sign Javi Simmons. There's more of a chance that he stays on the bench, him starting, because we have Cole Palmer. Okay. My problem is that we waited too long. For now, it looks embarrassing to us. You see. So I'm so disappointed. I had a feeling this was not going to happen, and it's happened now. So I think we need to leave those attacking midfielders alone. We need to go for other positions because what's going to happen now is we don't want to not panic by it. We don't want to do something that's going to affect the team or that's not really planned properly. Because Fermin Lopez, you see how much Boston got? It's crazy, crazy, crazy money, and they're asking for lots of money because they're in debt. You know, so I think we need to be smart. We need to make sure that rather hold off that person unless there's someone else. But I can't think of anyone else. I think we've just embarrassed us. Very, very embarrassing. Just Spurs. No, it's not good. Not good.
Yeah, that's my issue. But Victor, he was with me in the Chelsea perspective. Bigger Victor, what are your thoughts about the situation before we move on? Because I want to talk about the game actually.
Yeah, there's a Simon issue, right?
100%.
Oh, okay. So I understand how most Chelsea fans are very, very upset. They are very, very angry that at the end of the day, we didn't sign Xavi Simons. And for me, I didn't put my I, I didn't put so much at,
We are cutting off, so I can hear you, bro.
attached towards that.
Oh man, we lost him. Yeah, we lost him. But
I think
overall,
it's his
like,
network.
yeah, I think it's not there as well. Like, what Coy and Charles were saying, I think makes sense. Like, for example, why agree personal terms for 2 months and not make the deal? Doesn't make sense. And also another thing, why the Wharton News and Family Lopez just come right now? Doesn't make sense. So overall, man. Anyway, let's leave the situation because
Okay.
people think that.
Um,
Charles, go ahead, bro.
I, I,
yeah.
I saw I saw I
You
saw a
know,
tweet. I saw a tweet that said that we didn't even
uh,
make a bid.
You say tweet what?
okay.
Another.
I was saying I
Seems
saw a
like we
tweet
lost
that
another
we didn't even make a
also.
bid. You know how crazy that is. What was the point of us?
Oh man, you're cutting off as well. Another.
Yeah, yeah. It's cutting.
No, I can't hear you. Yeah. So Charles, go ahead, bro. While we're waiting for another.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk about how um Fermin Lopez has suddenly come into the picture. Yes. So, like I said, Xavi Simons was a recommendation from the scouts as early as March, and the club decided to pursue him. Um, how Fermin Lopez has come into the picture. It's a long summer. It's a long summer. And during the 3-4 months of the transfer window, new targets arise. Maybe they went to ask the coach, seeing that Leipzig were initially demanding 70 million. So maybe they went to ask the coach, what do you have any alternative if we don't get this player? Do you have any alternative, any player that you really like that you think can fit into that can fit into the attack? And he suggested Fermin Lopez. So it's a long summer, and targets change, and new targets are identified during the summer, and that's probably why Fermin Lopez has come into the picture so late in the window. In terms of where Xavi Simons fits, in terms of where Fermin Lopez fits, does not necessarily have to be a Palmer backup. Does not necessarily have to play that role. We play with we play with 5 attacking players, and 4 of them are behind the striker. So we play with a right winger, we play with a left winger, and we play with two two attacking midfielders in the pockets. That's where Palmer plays on the right side. He plays on the right side, in the right half space, and Enzo Fernandez actually plays in the left half space in the pocket. So Fermin Lopez or Xavi Simons would fit in in the Enzo Fernandez role that he currently plays. That's why he would fit in. So he can actually play with Cole Palmer. He doesn't necessarily have to be a Palmer's backup. So it was never really known. It was never really decided that he was Cole Palmer's backup. No, he can actually play with Cole Palmer in the role that Enzo Fernandez currently occupies. And Enzo Fernandez can be pushed deeper to play closer to Moises Caicedo. The role that Lavia plays when he's available, or Caicedo can even play deeper, and Enzo plays next to him in a more box to box role. So that's where Xavi Simons really fit in. He didn't really necessarily be a backup player to Palmer. Yes.
Yeah, no problem. Guys, if you're watching, please kindly like and subscribe to the channel. So this tweet says Enzo Maresca on Joao Pedro and Liam Dilep says they can play together. Is the game plan that demand one or two? Both, we'll see. I think this is correct. Sometimes we need to use both strikers so that they can get used playing each other. And also against West Ham, I think they really did well for me personally. So I just want us to move away from the Xavi Simons deal because it didn't happen. So no need to talk more about it. So I think maybe we'll get more clarity and after the transfer window, but again, we'll be more PR and more excuses because they bottled it. It's what it is, and nothing we can do. We need to move on because it's going to be a Tottenham Hotspur
Yeah,
player.
yeah.
So
Please, before we move on, this one sentence. So
okay, no
basically,
problem.
from what Chance is saying, which honestly, Chance, you're a very good analyst. Like I like the way you presented it. So basically, it's going to be a backup either for Enzo or for Palmer. And I
I
don't
said
know.
it can be an option in the Enzo Fernandez role.
No, so
I
I'm
think
looking at it this way. Even
it can play with both Enzo Fernandez and Cole Palmer if Enzo Fernandez is pushed deeper to play
deeper.
closer to
So that
Caicedo.
means so
Mhm.
then what happens to the likes of that means someone like Santos, Sugo for Lavia, I'm not going to count him because he's basically always injured. Very good player, but always injured. So I don't count him as part of the players. So that means those two players, especially Santos, who has a lot of interest. It's football. It's okay. Let's move on. It's okay. It's okay. I've accepted it. Life goes on. Life goes on.
Yeah,
I've accepted it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think what Charles is trying to say. Sometimes we can play with two tens. We saw it under Enzo Maresca. The time we came up against. I remember against Leicester City in the league, and also I remember he used that a lot of time in the conference league. Even though the conference league we don't normally rate it, but anyway we won it. It's good, but it's trying to say sometimes we play with two tens, so it makes sense that way. But overall, I think we need to move on. So, quite to you. So, what are your thoughts about Lem Dilep and Joao Pedro playing together? Were you happy with their performance against West Ham United?
Oh, honestly, I'm impressed with the lab, and I don't know why Chelsea fans are so much on this guy. We've not played with a traditional, striker for a long, long time. That's the gospel truth. we've played with this false nine, like at least these players. So it is easier for them to play with Joao Pedro than for them to play with Delap. But in the match against West Ham, Delap helped us a lot. Even the match against Crystal Palace, because our two good chances came when Delap was on the pitch because he was occupying the centre back. Sometimes having a flair striker like Jackson, Pedro, Eketike, what I mean, those kind of strikers, those ball playing strikers who are not physically imposing, sometimes it doesn't work. And I told certain friends of mine in a group that sometimes you need the profile of Delap, someone who just bully defenders. If he gets, he will score. But his bullying and all those things is creating space for others. And unfortunately, he couldn't get a chance to score, but he played a role in helping us, secure that match, win that match. Because when teams play in a back five, having a target man who can bully them is really, really helpful. So I was impressed with the link up. I was impressed with the coach picking that idea from the get-go and not waiting to, force things through. So I'm impressed. I know Delap will get a goal. Delap just hasn't got, clear-cut chances yet. I know Delap will score. So I'm impressed so far. I'm impressed.
Yeah, I think Lem Delep will help us a lot in terms of low blocks. So I'm happy about it. So big up to to Kolpam on the chase. Get these sporting directors out of my club. I agree with you, bro. I'm with you. But it don't happen because we gave them 6 years contract recently. So I'm annoyed about it because we gave them 6 years contract during the transfer window. No, no, no. It says
No, but
I am.
I know
Wait,
I'm annoyed with the Simmons deal, but can we like the directors are not perfect for that one? There are a lot of mistakes, but there's also a lot of good things they've actually also done. You get me?
yeah. I
Um,
agree with you. I agree with you. They
yeah.
do
So
a lot of.
getting them out, I think is okay. I understand you are all angry, you are emotional, so you are taking like that. But they've done a lot of good things too, even though they've also done some number of bad deals and things. But so far, I
They've
think they are
actually
good.
done more bad deals than good ones. And
Thank you.
on paper right now,
Yeah.
it looks like Spurs have gotten better players than we have. They've got Kudus and Xavi Simons, while we've got Ganacho and Gittens. On paper, it really looks like Spurs have gotten much better players than we have. But football is played on the pitch, and
Yeah.
only time will tell. Only time will tell.
Yeah, and also another thing, Koi and Charles, right? Good thing at the moment we actually have a good coach, so I think that is a positive because Poch had a similar players that Enzo Maresca is saving at the moment. I know maybe some we sold them, we got new players last season, but overall, I think Poch didn't utilize the team that we wanted. But Enzo Maresca at least try something, and then we qualified for the Champions League, and also thank Poch we qualified to the Conference League, and we won it under Enzo Maresca. So overall, as much as we sometimes as sporting directors are making a nasty decision, I think the coach are bailing us out. So yeah, man, since Fabrizio Romano is a fraud, I wouldn't say Fabrizio Romano is a fraud because Metlo, Fabrizio Romano, David Austin, a lot of journalists say the same thing that uh, Chelsea need to sell players in order to get new players.
No, but
What did we? Go ahead, bro.
not to defend the journalist, okay? But let's say I'm your inside source at Chelsea, and I tell you that, oh, we've agreed terms with the player. Tick. We are speaking with Leipzig. We need to sell players. Leipzig said they are interested in this and that and that. But getting to the tail end of the deal, now we've decided not to bid. You get me? We've decided not to bid. So it's not like I don't think because Fabrizio has gotten a lot of deals correct. Like I'll say a 60%, I won't say 70, like 60% or 70% correct, and rough 30% to special circumstances like Omoridion. Chelsea that decided to pull away, even though he said here we go, because here we go means okay, the medical has been booked, so go and do it. Here we go. And Chelsea say
Exactly.
no, 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 no. We want Joao Felix because of his agent who said you get us a club in Portugal. which he has not even been able to do that. So the journalists, I don't want to blame them too much because it's the information they are being communicated to that they really, and you don't want to also destroy relationships with the club because you realize that Fabrizio, Einstein, Ben Jacobs, some of them are mouthpieces for the club. You get me? So it's what the club asks them to say or sometimes to release that they release. Because if they sometimes, I'm even sure sometimes they can't speak the way they really want to speak in order not to, lose that link that they have. You get me? So it's true. The deal was agreed. The player terms, whatever was agreed. Leipzig, we tried to lowball them like we did. We started with, if you remember Getting's deal, we were trying to give them 35 and they rejected. And then finally we panicked and overpaid. You understand? So
and
that's why, if you remember some streams ago, I told you that probably we need, when we are interested in a player, when it comes to the money aspects, probably we need a specialist in the negotiation, on the table to do it for us because the way we keep getting fleeced, nothing against Gittins. Gittins potentially a good player, but he is not 55 million. He is not a 55 million player. You get me? So if you have that money for Gittins, we don't have that for Simmons. So I don't blame the journalists, honestly, because they've told you this. Everyone has confirmed, oh, it's agreed on this end. Chelsea decided not to pay because he thought, okay, because the guy has rejected buying, which was, accurately recorded or accounted for, that Simmons rejected buying. He rejected other teams that came in. So if you are Fabrizio, you are looking at it, hey, this guy has rejected buying, a whole buying. But now the difference is time is getting to the end of the window. So even on Twitter, I was arguing with a guy, I don't know him. I was trying to explain to him that yes, if Chelsea come in, we bid the same amount, he would most likely choose Chelsea. But as the window is
exactly.
coming to an end, he's also seeing on the news, just like we all have right now, to the footballers, they are more on their phones like every ordinary human being. They are not Superman. They are not X-Men. They are not Wolverine. They are also on their phones. They're also on TikTok, Instagram. The things we do, that is what they also do. It's just that their lives is just to play football. So he's also seeing the news, Chelsea, Garnacho. So you've told me to wait, just like Mohamed Kudus, his agent said before Kudus joined West Ham. Chelsea were in for Kudus. But because of the Caicedo saga, by the time we were done, we went to give Ajax a lower offer than even West Ham offered. That is why I'm saying that the directors, it looks like probably they are good with scouting players. But when it comes to the finalizing of the deal, probably they should get someone who is especially for that role to do it, because it looks like the big deals, they keep on flopping. They keep on, because Caicedo, remember, even before Rice was sold, they kept on saying 100 million. They kept on saying 100 million. And you're offering 80 plus 10, 80 plus 5, thinking, okay, we are the only ones that want Caicedo. So this. I know it's not every deal that you go ahead and give the team the money they want, but this is a player who is a hot kick. Everyone wants him. You understand? And you delayed, and at the end, you had to overpay by what? I think it was 115, right? If I'm not mistaken. If you had offered 90 plus 5 or 90 plus 10, but the 10 is guaranteed add-ons, we'd have just paid 100 million for Caicedo. You ended up overpaying. You get me? So you can't blame the journalists, honestly. I know people are saying it's a fraud. Come on. Fabrizio. Oh, if you say other people, fine. Fabrizio, 70% of the deals he said, they always come true. It's just that right now, Chelsea, I don't know, at the end, they also didn't tell him that we will not bid, So I can't blame them, honestly. I can't say they are frauds because of this.
I
Chloe,
think
before
I think that
wait, Charles, I'll give you the platform, bro. And I agree with Koi, because every time Chelsea is linked to a player, all the journalists know it. They are the one who are reporting Chelsea are linked to this player. We are making a bid and stuff. So my only issue right now, they were telling Professor Romano Metlo that, oh, we need to sell Nkunku in order to get Xavi Simons. And just like Koi is saying that right now, and we are selling Nkunku, we get Garnacho. I don't have a problem with Garnacho because even Fabrizio Romano said Garnacho without selling. Wait, wait, wait. I'm gonna give you the bottom. Come on, bro. Okay, go ahead, Charles.
Yeah, I think the reason why Fabrizio is getting so much heat for the Xavi Simons transfer saga is one because of the constant reassurance that he was giving Chelsea fans. You know, he was
But,
reassuring Chelsea fans
but
almost every day. I know it's going to happen. No, it's going to happen. And two, the biggest reason he's also getting stick for it is because yesterday, actually, after the Nkunku Here We Go, he said on his YouTube channel that the Xavi Simons deal was now 85% done. So he misled the Chelsea fans on that one when saying the deal was 85% done when we had not even placed any bid for the player. So I think that's why is being targeted and being called a fraud, because you can't say the deal is 85% done when no bid has been placed for a player. 85% is a big number.
no,
So
they they
I
they,
think it
they
misled the Chelsea fans, especially yesterday, by saying the deal was 85% done.
no. He said Chelsea and RB Leipzig had a verbal agreement, right? And Leipzig wanted 70 million for him, right? But Tottenham Hotspurs uh, paid 60 million for him. So clearly, it's cheaper than what they were asking before. They reduced from 70 to 60. Why Chelsea didn't pay the same amount, knowing that they have the assurance that the player told them that, look, I want you. We didn't even make the same offer. That's the only issue. Now we are linked to Famin Lopez, and Famin Lopez financially doesn't make sense because Barcelona want 90 million for him, even 100 million for him. So please make it sense. 60 million and 90 million doesn't make sense. So Fabrizio Romano was getting a reassurance from the sporting director or whoever was telling him that Xavi Simons to Chelsea is almost there, but it's not done yet. Even so, he said 85%. I don't care about 85%. All I care about why agree personal terms on a player for 2 months. 2 months, bro. 2 months for a player, personal terms. And at the end, you let him go cheaper than you were asking for because they were asking for 70, Spurs paid 60. Why didn't you pay 60? And we get our player. That's it. That's the only issue I'm having at the moment. But anyway, let me read this comment. It says, Ekbali should have not be at USL draw yesterday. He should have started 70 months deal out. Yeah, maybe there's possibility because Ekbali helped with the Enzo Fernandez, even with the Moises Caicedo when Liverpool were trying to check the deal. And Ekbali came in and then helped us. So I think I agree with the comment of quite that we need actually specialists that can help us securing top players to Chelsea. But overall, I'm over it because it's going to space anyway. So, bigger Bobby, what are your thoughts about this particular topic? Because I need to talk about tomorrow's game, but we can't let this go. So, what are your thoughts, Bobby and bigger bro? Bobby?
Big up, Bobby.
Yeah, big up, guys. Big up, guys. Um, Xavi Simmons. Look, quite clearly, what has happened here is that Fabrizio Romano, in particular, Ben Jacobs also, they have played on the emotions of Chelsea fans. You know, they've started this for 2 months. Xavi has agreed with Chelsea every single day. They were coming up with that. Now, who knows what's happened? All I can say it's one of several things, and I'll list them. One, it could be that the PSR threats from UEFA were indeed not just freeing up the space in the squad. Bearing in mind, Chelsea sold a lot of their, a considerable number of players they registered for the Conference League. And then we started hearing that no, it was those registered for the knockout stages. Well, Nkunku's gone. It looks like Jackson's gone, much to, well, will be going, much as I don't really think that was necessary, but there you go. That's one. Then they were saying that there's supposed to be a financial positive net balance on player sales for UEFA to be happy. Um, I think Chelsea have made a lot of money. Whether there is a positive net balance is yet to be seen, but they have made a lot of money from sales. That's another factor. Then the there could quite simply have been that the club saw something they didn't like. Let's bear in mind that none of these clubs that we were hearing was interested in Xavi Simons put in an official bid. None of them, to my knowledge. Certainly, Chelsea never did. The only club to have put in an official bid in this 0 hour was Spurs. And so he has, in my view, somewhat reluctantly gone there because nobody else was going to drop money on the table and he couldn't wait until the transfer window closed or came close to closing because one, he wanted to secure his future after categorically telling Leipzig he wants to leave. So that's another point. Then Chelsea may be looking at somebody else. I keep telling everybody, keep an eye on David Ornstein posts and tweets because Ornstein dropped this Ferrin Lopez thing at a time where it seemed unusual. All the hype and all the talk was about Xavi Simons, and Ornstein just said, well, Chelsea are looking at this guy. That's basically all he said in a nutshell. I know Ben Jacobs is now running with it that, there's talks with the player. If they can convince the player, then they'll make a move. I don't know about all that. For this later part of the transfer window till Monday, because of the Simmons situation, I've shut down on Ben Jacobs. I've shut down on Fabrizio Romano. I'm not listening to them anymore right now. So we shall see. And then another scenario could be that the club feel that they have an internal solution to that situation. I don't think it's likely because I don't see who and unless they're going to overplay Joao Pedro, I don't know, but it just seems unlikely. They do need that position. I'm not particularly sold on Garnacho, but time will tell. We shall see. But we need to be strong, and the club must be aware of that. Bali sat at the Champions League draw. He saw the people we're playing. Barcelona, Bayern Munich, and Napoli, Atalanta. These aren't mushroom clubs. We have a very tough group to navigate. So we need a strong squad and a strong depth of squad. So um, let's see if they're looking at somebody else. The only other person that it seems on the surface that they could be looking at is Ferrin Lopez. But you know, there's a twist there in that we're meeting Barcelona. We all know how dark Barcelona can be when it comes to selling players, buying players, triggering financial levers, remortgages. I will go as far as saying bribing match officials. We know what kind of club that is. And when they see they're facing Chelsea, they're going to try and pull all the stops out to stop Ferrin Lopez from coming to Chelsea. So it's a difficult situation. My concern here is twofold. One, Xavi Simons to Tottenham really strengthens them even further. They look very threatening now. They've got an excellent manager in Thomas Frank, and they have quite a formidable squad there. They really do. Physical, technical, all over the pitch. They are a threat. And two, that the club will suddenly do nothing and not get anybody and be satisfied with just Garnacho, which is not good enough, if you ask me. So those are my concerns. But all the emotion in and around the hype that was pushed by Romano in particular, I think we need to learn a lesson from that. When a deal hasn't happened, when a player isn't, wearing the shirt, we need to be very weary, especially when something is long and protracted, like this was. We need to be very wary of these people because they may be off track and the club may be thinking elsewhere.
Yeah, anyway, I think we need to move on for the. Thank you, Bobby, for that. I appreciate it, bro. I think for me personally, I need to move on away from this. You guys know my opinion about this, and I won't change it. But again, we need to move on. And thank you, Coachella, for the super chat. I appreciate it. It says, chill, man. What matters the most is what the manager wants. If Maresca wanted Simmons, he would be here. He would be a Chelsea player now. But we don't know because, like, they always say that internally they are talking. So if Enzo Maresca one day the player and sporting directors overpower him, nothing can do. So they say they sit around as a group and talk about the third target. But again, if their votes are calling out Enzo Maresca, nothing he can do. But overall, uh, let's just forget about the Xavi Simons deal. He's a space player now. And then he says, yeah, man. Say Fabrizio Rahman hasn't done anything right, in my opinion, and I agree with Coach Hila because Fabrizio Rahman was he was saying what he was briefed by the Chelsea directors, whoever was telling him, because even the Gittings one, the Dilep one, the Joao Pedro one, he was getting information from Chelsea. So why now people are saying that they won't believe him because he got this wrong? It's not up to him to make the deal. It's not up to the journalists to make the offer. It's up to the clubs. So he can say whatever he knows. So overall, I think it's fair to move on. It says, where's the high button? It says, Bobby, school, Tebogo. And I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it. Sometimes you need to learn. I believe Spurs only push once they realize we are really serious. And I agree. They took advantage of the situation. Says, what manners did you do? What manners did you do? Leave my boy alone. Please, then move on. But anyway, now the reports are saying Alejandro Garnacho completed this medical maybe today. He might be officially announced today or tomorrow. So, Charles, overall, what are your thoughts about signing this player? Because I remember from the start, you were not happy about us signing Garnacho. So, overall, what are your thoughts? Even do you trust the sporting director? Another question to you. Go ahead, bro.
Um, First of all, he's obviously going to be a Chelsea player now, so I will support him. I will back him. I will want him to do well. It's not about me being proven right about my doubts on the player. Right now, it's about the player doing good for Chelsea, and that's the most important thing. Um, Ganacho, while I want him to do well for Chelsea, I don't think he's going to do well. I think it's a signing for for purely player trade. I think it's a player trade signing where we sign him, but I expect him to be on the market in a year or two at most. Actually, I don't think he's going to do well here. I think we could have used we could have gotten someone better, especially with this time that we've wasted on Xavi Simons. And you know, a lot of people are asking a lot of questions of the sporting directors after this failed Simons pursuit. They are saying we've only signed one starter this summer, and that's Joao Pedro. So I don't trust the sporting directors to answer your questions. To answer your question, Tobago, I don't trust them. I don't think this Ganacho deal will takes us to a new level. We need to make signings based on being able to take the team forward, to improve the team, to strengthen the team, and not for business purposes, not for the books. I think the Ganacho deal is one for the books, and we need to move away from deals like that and focus on deals that improve us. We need to be stronger. Our Champions League group, if you look at it, it's a strong group. It's a tough group. Top teams. Tricky away games in Italy with Napoli and Atalanta. Um, Very tough home fixture against Barcelona. Very tough away at Bayern at the Allianz Arena. We needed to be turning up to those stadiums with top players, and I think we could have strengthened the team. I hope we strengthened the team with the few days left in the transfer window with maybe one good attacker and a defender. So I don't think if the window closed right now, I wouldn't be happy with it because we didn't get a center back and another attacking player. So yeah, that's my feelings. I hope Ganacho does well, but does it take us to the next level? I don't think it does. I think we are going to be looking for another player very soon in that position. So I don't know, man. It's I hope we sign another player.
Yeah, before I give you maybe the microphone, I personally like me, Charles. From the start, I didn't want Garnacho. However, after knowing, even if Fabrizio Romano was giving the same hype with Garnacho, if you all remember, Garnacho only wants Chelsea. Garnacho is going to Chelsea. Finally, we signed him. So overall, I give up that time, knowing that Fabrizio Romano, there's no way he's pushing on this play every day. He knows something that we don't know. Finally, the boy is here, Chelsea. Overall, I'm going to support the player because it's going to wear a Chelsea t-shirt, just like me wearing
Yeah,
the t-shirt right now. So I'm going to
yeah,
support the player, and hopefully prove us wrong and do very well at Chelsea. I think all the Chelsea fans are happy, and I agree with your statement saying that we need players that can elevate us, can put us to the top. Yes, we won the Conference League. Yes, we won the Club World Cup. However, the Champions League is a different gravy. We need top players in order to do well in that competition. But again, I'm going to trust Enzo Maresca in this, but he's the sporting director. I don't trust them. So, Bobby, what are your thoughts about the Canacho deal? Are you happy that it finally passed his medical and is about to sign a deal to Chelsea? What are your thoughts, Bobby?
Tobago, I'm indifferent about Garnacho. I don't really know what to expect. I don't like the idea where we're hoping and speculating about a player rather than feeling more certain. When we did Joao Pedro, I always felt, yeah, we got a player. Although may not be that popular, but I knew we got a good player. Delap, I felt the same thing. Not that popular, but I think we've got a good player there. Garnacho, I'm wondering. I don't want to be negative, but we need somebody who's going to be extraordinarily effective on that left flank. Jamie Gittens is still developing lots of nice, fancy dribbles and stepovers, but he still sometimes struggles to beat his man and can be ineffective in games. And I've noticed, certainly with the West Ham game, he was learning now that he has to go back and defend, and I hope Garnacho will learn that quickly as well. Some like um, Joao Pedro does on the other wing. Look, I don't know. We just have to wait and see. All I do know is this: we need a strong squad and strong squad depth. There's no time to mess around with all these physically weak players and injury prone players. We've had enough of that. We can't do that this season. I'm a bit concerned about Reece James going to the England team. I'm hoping and praying that he's managed correctly. We don't want another Reece James injury. We still haven't got Lavia back. We still haven't got Badiashile back. We can't be doing this nonsense. This is serious stuff now. Look at our rivals in the Premier League, all of them: Liverpool, Tottenham, Arsenal, even Man United, Man City, even Newcastle now. They've all considerably strengthened. Newcastle have left it late, but they will get another player in. So, and all we're doing now is looking to weaken by getting rid of Jackson, and we're not sure who, if anybody, is coming in. It's going to be necessary to have fit, strong depth. Somebody mentioned the trip to Bayern in the Champions League, the Allianz Arena. Remember, we hurt Bayern badly there in 2012. They have never and they will never forget that humiliation in their own backyard. We lifted the trophy. They were so hurt they couldn't release our colors when we were lifting the trophy, because that was the sort of etiquette in those days in the Champions League, and they left it at that. So if we come there, there will always be, even if it's a generation ago, there will always be that mind for revenge. So we've got to go there and show them who's boss, and show them that no, we're not there to be revenged on. You need to fear us anytime you hear our name, and you need a strong squad for that. So I'm not interested in any of this messing around and patching and looking to satisfy silly little player egos. And no, I'm for Chelsea Football Club. I'm for the success of the club, and I want our players fit, ready, technically and physically strong to face the challenge ahead.
100%. We just saw a tweet from Fabrizio Romano. It says exclusive: Chelsea making a deal to sign Facundo Bonanotte from Brighton. Negotiation underway with Brighton for Argentina talent in the list of several clubs in UK.
I'm not listening. Don't listen to that geezer. He's going to do this now, and I'm not listening to him. The only thing I'll hear from him is a "here we go." All this speculation he puts out there is how he hurts people like you, because your hopes are up now. Oh, we're looking at this, we're looking at that.
No,
Everybody pulling their hair out, and then he goes somewhere else. So forget Fabrizio, forget Ben Jacobs. The only person I'll say, okay, if Oni says it, then pay attention. But this is all clickbait from them, in my opinion,
yeah,
to be honest.
but I think we're extending this play for Strasbourg, because if we send for Chelsea, man, I'll be fuming. I'll be fuming.
Ah,
But anyway,
not
Okay,
good enough.
maybe.
Not Chelsea level anyway. It's not Chelsea
yeah,
level. If this is our alternative to Fermin Lopez and Xavi Simons, man, jokes
Yeah,
I'll
on.
be.
yeah, maybe it's a Blue Co. Strasbourg signing. Fair enough.
I hope it is. I hope it is, bro. I hope it is. Ah,
Yeah, I hope so, because I'm checking his record, man. Ah, man, it's so poor. But hopefully, I know they play actually. But again, hopefully it's for Strasbourg. We just play hope there, because would it make sense? So anyway, let's go to the game, because I think we talked a lot of things. We need to talk about the game now, because this is the main topic. Chelsea are playing against Fulham tomorrow, 12:30 UK time. Of course, my time is 1:30 in South Africa. In terms of head-to-head, we won 12 matches. We draw 6. They only won twice against us. The last one was at the bridge. Last goal, last minute goal that they had, because we're leading the game. So I don't know. So I don't want to talk about the predicted lineups, but this is the team form at the moment, and our form actually is good, because we won 4 games out of 4. and they won three out of. I mean, we won four out of five. We draw one here. They won three out of five. They draw two. Overall, I think they're in a good form. But however, I think we need to win this one. In terms of insights, Chelsea have scored 14 goals in their last five matches, having lost in the last nine matches. Joao Pedro is ranked second in big chances created in the competition. Fulham scored 9 goals in the last five matches, have conceded their most penalties this season, having lost in the last six matches. So overall, Bobby, what are your thoughts about this game? Do you think we stand a chance to win this game? Bobby?
Yeah, I mean, we certainly stand a chance to win the game. But yet again, it's the Premier League. It's going to be tough. There's no gimmies in the Premier League. Certainly not with a rival like Fulham. Um, we play as well as we can, and yeah, we have every possibility to win the game. But I watched them play in their last game, and they're a very good outfit as usual. So it's not anything to take for granted.
Charles, what are your thoughts, bro?
Tough game. Tough game. West London derby. They are just a few miles up the road. Um, they played United in the last game and they dominated the game. I would say they dominated that game. They dominated technically. They dominated physically. They put pressure on Man United actually. So it's not going to be an easy game. It's a tough game, and we need to turn up. We need to start fast. We like to start some games slow, like the last game at West Ham. We started that one slow. We started that one slow, and we considered a goal. We paid the price and considered a goal. So for this one, we need to start fast. We need to start well, put them under pressure, maybe get a goal early, 20 minutes or less, try to get a goal, and quickly get another one, maybe first half 2-0 lead. That puts us in a good, comfortable position. Uh, get some fresh legs in the second half, like the Andre Santoses, the Dario Esugos. So yeah, with Palmer injured, I also want us to go with Joao Pedro in the 10 and Delap up front. I think Delap did very well at West Ham. He was a good focal point. He created space for us by holding off defenders, occupying defenders. The flick for the Enzo Fernandez goal, the flick to Estevao was superb. I think it gives us something different, and it will be important against a physical West Ham backline, especially with Calvin Bassey there. So it's a tough game, but I see us collecting all 3 points.
Yeah, for me personally, I think it's a tough match because first of all, it's a London derby. As much as say we always say beat them, but again, they're a different team right now under this new coach. So we should not take anything for granted. Hopefully, we come up with our A game and we win the game. And another thing, like Charles said, we need to start in a good manner because against West Ham in the first 10 minutes, I think we're all over the place. So we need to fix that. But again, I still trust our team will do well. So big up to Siaka South Africa says, I wonder what Chelsea FC will do after not signing Xavi Simons. Will they sign Roger or the Barcelona player? For me personally, I don't know what is going to happen. But again, I wouldn't mind Roger. My only issue with Roger is that Aston Villa at the moment are in a financial situation. If we go for the Roger, they might ask for 80 or 90 million, which is a lot for me. Unless they're willing for a 60 million, the similar price for Xavi Simons, I will do that. But again, I'm not the club, I'm not the sporting directors. Let's see what will happen. And Coachella says Julio replacement for Strasbourg. I think that makes sense. I think maybe it's because they already have agreement with Strasbourg and NC's already failed this medical. Now they just want to replace him with another Brighton player. So I think yeah, for Strasbourg, no problem. We can go to Strasbourg. But Chelsea, nah, 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 nah. So let me do this before guys. Please like and subscribe to the channel. So Bobby, this their lineup here. They are pretty good lineup. Would you change anything here, or are you happy with the lineup they put it here, Bobby?
Sorry, I was trying to unmute and I was talking.
Okay, no.
What have we got at the back? Sanchez, yep. Cuckoo, Tosin Chalobah, James. Somehow I wouldn't start Reece James. I would give him a bit of a rest because he's going on England duty. Maybe bring him on in the second half. Midfield, we've got who have we got in the middle there?
Enzo Caicedo. So let me
Yeah,
just make it.
I would go Caicedo and Santos. I haven't been too impressed with Enzo so far. He should come off the bench. I'll look for any opportunity to give Esugo a run out as well. But let's start with Caicedo, Santos, Esteval. Yeah, that's right. The forward four I can't argue with. Midfield, I would rather Santos instead of Enzo, at least to start. And at the back, I would start Gusto instead of James. So those are the only two alterations I'll make for the starting 11.
Yeah, I agree with you. But you know what? In terms of James, like you said, Bobby, we need physicality, right? So we might in the midfield. I think we might see something like this in the midfield when we have James adding that physicality in the midfield. And also Malu Gusto started the previous game, so I don't think Enzo Maresca might start Malu Gusto 2 games running and Rich James on the bench. So I don't think that will work for him. So, but that's my
Yeah.
opinion. Let's see what will happen. For me, Rich James, we need him because of physicality. Even Charles said that Fulham against Manchester United, they were more physical. So clearly,
Mm.
we need that physicality in the midfielder. So I don't know. What are your thoughts?
What you're saying makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense, and it's not as if we've been playing 2 games a week. It has been more than 7 days rest. I think be about 8 days because we played last Friday, or 7.5 days. So, yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I would still rather see Santos start to Enzo. I think Enzo's work rate hasn't really been that impressive. He left chasms of space in midfield against West Ham, whereas I think we can't afford to do that with Fulham. Definitely not. So then, bearing in mind what you've said, it does make sense to start James. Look, we have 5 substitutions, so starting doesn't mean to say you're going to finish the game. But I would start Santos ahead of Enzo. No, I mean, I just think Enzo is not quite there in terms of his match readiness, and he maybe needs to be rattled a little bit because he has been wanting in the last 2 games. Yes, he scored against West Ham, but I wasn't too happy with his overall play. He looks like he's still trying to get some sort of fitness.
Yeah, let's see what will happen. For me, like I said, with our midfielder and our attack, I'm happy because any player can start. I wouldn't complain. And now we trust Enzo Maresca because already have a 1 year at Chelsea. He knows what he's doing. So every tactics that he do, I think we are all good. We just need to execute the plan and do very well. Fulham, for me, won't be an easy game. Hopefully we can win that game comfortably. I don't want us to concede a goal, but again, it's football. Sometimes we might consider a silly goal, but hopefully we keep a clean sheet because for me, clean sheet are very important for me. But let's see what will happen. So
Yeah, of
before we wrap it
course.
up,
I mean, there are no easy games in the Premier League, so we have to be on it. That's why I was talking about the strength and in squad depth. We and the fitness of the players. We have to be on it. You're forgetting that at some point he may choose to field what's his name, Fafana. I don't think he's ready for a full 90
no, I
minutes,
don't think it's
but
ready.
I think he will come on at some point in this game, depending on how the game's going.
Yeah, if we are not sending a centre back, I think for me personally, we don't start for fun. Now let him get another minutes again, just like he did against West Ham, to build up on that during the international break. Him and Badishilo, hopefully they'll be fully fit so that they can help the team. For me personally, you always said as much as Enzo Maresca said that he wanted a new midfield, a new centre back. I don't think we need to buy a centre back because if we buy a centre back, I think we're going to we sell one. And normally, what you always do, that's why, like Bobby I said, the sporting director, I don't trust them because the target they'll go to is Trevoh Chalobah first. So that's the issue heavy. And Trevoh Chalobah really proved us Chelsea fans and to the coach and also to the club that he's a good player. Yes, he might not be world class, but actually is a good enough centre back to do well at Chelsea. So I don't want to disturb that harmony winning the Conference League, the Club World Cup. I just want to keep the core of that club, especially at the back. It's so important to keep your centre backs always the edge in every game because they need to build a relationship with the goalkeeper. As much as we all don't trust Robert Sanchez, so I don't know. Look at this now. Siaka says the Chelsea recruiting team is a joke, and it's always pursuing from Brighton is really a joke. No, it's not about pursuing from Brighton for me personally, because Brighton actually have a good scout department. So I wouldn't say that. And also we are sending players for Strasbourg. And remember, we are building relationships. So I don't mind that as long as a player goes to Strasbourg. If you do very well at Strasbourg, he earns his place to Chelsea. That's where I'll be happy. For now, if you send a Brighton player, I will say, give me Mitomo. But again, we already have two wingers. No need to worry about it. So, Bobby, anything else you like to add before we wrap it up? Because I think we covered what I wanted to cover today. Talk about the game and the saga of Xavi Simons. So, anything you like to add, Bobby, to talk about?
Nothing to add. Unfortunately, Chelsea likes all the transfer drama and anxiety and all the nonsense that goes with that. So we have till Monday to see what else, if anything, they're going to do in the transfer market. I hear Alfie Gilchrist is going £2 million with a sell-on fee. We've not heard anything about Ben Chilwell or Raheem Sterling. Don't know what's going to happen with that, but Chelsea fans, I'm sure, are just eager and anxious to know if there is a suitable alternative to Xavi Simons in the pipeline. At the moment, it really doesn't look like it, which is disappointing.
Yeah, after Xavi Simons went to Spurs, we don't have actually a really concrete news about another number 10 that's linked to Chelsea. If we are linked to, if now we are just linking to Flamini Lopez. For me personally, I don't think that deal will happen. But again, if it comes to Chelsea, regardless of the price tag, I'm going to help because we're going to send another player. But in terms of financial situation, I won't be happy because we let a player go on 60 million and we buy a player more than that amount. But overall, I'm still pissed. But again, let's move on. Hopefully, we can win tomorrow. Forget all the drama because this drama is unnecessary. Just causing Enzo Maresca a lot of stress because we need to focus more on the game. So I don't know. So thank you for joining, Bobby. Appreciate it. I think we had Onapa, Koi, Charles, even Victor, we had Cochila on the chat, Siaka, Jay. Appreciate it, Cochila, for the super chat. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. I think this means a lot for me and for the college chess community. I really appreciate it. Bobby, up the chance. See you soon. Peace.